you an updated video. Sorry, dog scratching at Matt. Just updating you on where we were
with the house.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to do about 2 months ago, and we asked for questions. And life got busy. If you're watching the regular vlogs, you'll know that. And then we just haven't had the right chance. And we're about to sit and watch TV. I said, let's go film this now. So it is done. I'll link to the last video that we did, which I said was about 2 years ago. So obviously we purchased the unit, and we went through all the process of up to buying the unit.
Paying the stamp duty.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we left off with that. So we thought we'd just pick up from there and sort of just tell you where we are and try and briefly go through stuff. Again, if you watch the vlogs, you probably know it all, but if you don't, I'll fill you in on the blanks today. Starting with the decision that we've actually, obviously, you probably have guessed, we've got the house on the market already.
We've had 2 open houses and nobody wants to buy it. So we're still waiting for someone to give us money.
Like with the last video, Kevin has jumped a few steps ahead.
No.
You did that last time
you
as
said
well.
with the houses on the market, that was relevant.
No, this is decide. This is the
to sell now rather than later.
Decided to sell. Why we decided to sell? Because in the last video we weren't going to sell until after we'd moved.
And it can take a long time to sell.
Yeah,
so
I think in July. For some reason we ended up with talking to a real estate agent. We don't know, it was sort of a random connection somewhere.
Long story. But we also have to, we can't pay mortgages for 2 places.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So we have to sell this before, or at least at the same time as the other one, or it's going to get very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so in July, one of the estate agents that we spoke to said that it's about an average of 4 months to sell a house at that stage. Although I'm not sure I'm not sure the estate agent that we chose agrees with that, but anyway, that's what we went on. So 4 months, I sat down and read all the dates back from then and realised we need to get our butts into gear with getting the house ready to get on the market if we had wanted to sell it around the time we were moving, which at that stage was going to be December. Then we had to go through all the decluttering of the house,
which was unpleasant.
Took a long time. You will have seen, again, if you've been watching the regular vlogs, you'll have seen that. Kevin has done amazing. So around the house is very bare bones. Some stuff has gone to storage. We'll go to the new house, but I'm thinking a lot of that stuff might actually end up being decluttered as well. Certainly my own stuff anyway, if I haven't needed it in the next couple of months. Probably don't really need it. We've got a lot of empty shelves around here, empty cupboards around here. It's very nice actually.
Yeah,
Kevin survived, didn't you?
Everything's looking nice. Well, it's a pain. We had to find a new cable the other day. Normally I'd go into the cupboard of cables. Yeah. We call it the Apple store.
I was kind of surprised you didn't keep anything, but at the time I didn't think to say to you, do you want to keep anything?
No, anyway, so we've managed to scrape together some cables or borrowed cables from the van. I think it's probably what most people do.
And we have all that stuff probably in our travel collections.
Yeah.
If we needed it, we could probably dig it out of our travel kits that have got all the cables in them as well. Yeah, so we got the house decluttered. That took about a good 6+ weeks, probably, more like 8 weeks. Kevin working every weekend with his new mate Ron, who was a handyman he found on Facebook. Was a big help getting the house not just decluttered but also cleaned up around a lot more. There was a lot more work outside than what I'd realised. Yeah, I think probably you realised too.
Even doing the open house yesterday morning, just the leaves that fall off the avocado tree and things like that, they've all got to be swept up. You know, everything's got to try and look nice.
Yeah. So anyway, we got decluttered. We got our new carpets. Oh no, we got painted first. We had painting all through inside and outside. That took a couple of weeks. Then we got our new carpets. Then we got cleaned up, and then we're up to listing the house. Well, okay, the house is on the market. We've had 2 open houses now.
So we had 2 people from the first one that said they liked it, and we're going to come back to the second one to have another look, and neither of them turned up. What?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you. Neither turned up.
And then 2 people from the second one seemed interested. But haven't heard anything. We won't hear anything probably till tomorrow afternoon or Tuesday. And there was someone that wanted an open house in the middle of the week, so we're doing it on Wednesday afternoon now.
It would be good to get it sold, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So even yesterday for the open house, it took Kevin and I both an hour and a quarter, over an hour anyway, working solidly to get the house in the condition that I like it to be, which I think might be maybe more than most people, according to our estate agent. He's always impressed anyway.
We do a lot of work for the open house. It takes us about 2 hours each. just to get things tidy and moving furniture around and make it look
putting things
simpler.
back like the dog beds and whatnot. Now,
Yeah.
because we put it back to how we like it.
All the dog beds have got to be hidden. All dog bowls of water, everything else has all got to be hidden.
Which I'm sure a lot of people perhaps don't do for the open house, but when I read what you're supposed to do, we just kind of try and do everything that I read that we're supposed to do.
Which is no evidence of dogs.
Yeah, so anyway, so I'm not sure what questions we have. We will get to the questions though, but what we're going to do when we sell. There's a bit of
We're going to be homeless.
Yeah, we say we're homeless. Obviously, we're not really going to be homeless. We won't actually own a home at that stage.
Well, I know, but we're not going to live in it. We're
No.
not going to be able to live in it. So we'll have a 6-week settlement. So the date we exchange contracts. We have 6 weeks in New South Wales to settle, and then we have to be out the day of settlement. So the settlement's normally about 11 o'clock in the morning. We have to be out by about that time and hand over the keys.
So basically, we still are hoping we will sell sooner rather than later, and then we'll have a couple of months. We'll be homeless. We didn't mention in this video yet that the day or within days of listing our house on the market, we got news that the new apartment is not going to be ready in December now, as hoped. February now. Anyway, we're still hoping that we'll be homeless.
Yes.
Because the house hasn't sold. And then our plans kind of at the moment, we're not really sure because it's going to depend exactly when we sell, but if we sell soon, we're still not really sure what we're going to do. Our options are to rent a place locally that someone may do a short-term rental, if we can find someone that would
rent
happy to do that.
Anywhere in Australia.
Yeah.
We've got the van, we can just go somewhere with the van.
Kevin can work remotely.
I've got Starlink on the van, so I can work.
The other option, which we were kind of originally going to do, is to travel, to have some holidays, travel around a bit, maybe here for a bit, there for a bit, whatever we wanted to do kind of thing. And I still kind of like the idea of doing that, but we'll just have to see.
We'll see.
We're not making any decisions until we sell the house. We talk about things and go, no decisions yet.
Yeah.
But we will be having a holiday once the house is sold. We'll sort out a holiday for Kevin. Because
for the last few weekends,
he's had time off.
Better because we're not working all weekend and then all week. So.
But poor Kev was like 2.5 months of working his job,
7 days,
4 days, and then 3 days here, pretty much all day, every day. So moving date we did discuss.
Yeah, so we don't know, have no idea at all.
I thought you might want to discuss briefly, very briefly, your electric charger, because in our last video, you couldn't get the electric charge, is that the right word, for the new place, the apartment?
Oh, okay, yes. The new apartment that's supposed to be 7-star environmental friendliness didn't have any facility to charge electric cars. They sent out a late update and they said we're now willing to put car chargers in. The one I got here at home, I paid $500 for the charger. That's about $500 parts for me to put it in. The one in the new place, so that's $1,000 in total. One in the new place is $5,000. It's got an access card that you have to swipe to get it to work. It's on each spot. It's all billed back to each individual person's
So each spot's going to have it, is it?
Not every spot. Only the
okay.
spots where people have bought them.
Bought it, yeah.
And you just swipe your card.
Okay, Em says she missed the opportunity on the community post, but saw that I was talking about it.
Yeah, the parents next door.
Yeah.
Let's talk about parents next door.
Okay. Are your parents staying in their house?
In the last year, they have aged 10 years. They don't watch this, but they've aged 10 years. David had a stroke. Linda's got other issues and sleeps all day. And
Yeah, I have talked about mum's depression.
Yeah.
Her depression's very bad.
and Linda doesn't want to move. She doesn't want to think about anything. Doesn't want to do anything. David knows that he has to move. So there's a place, a retirement place. It's about 300 metres from our new place, and it looks really nice down there. They're visiting it.
Well, they are trying to get in there.
They're going to visit it in 3 days. They get to go down and find a unit. There's a whole new section of the retirement home that's being opened with 60 new villas or something. But
There's 60 or 20?
I don't know.
Like
But there's also one in the old section which is for sale. So they're going down to look at the for sale one in 3 days, so that they might miss the whole new release and everything else.
I'm hoping if they get the chance, they'll take it, because apparently they redo the unit, so the unit inside is all new.
Yeah, they
it's just in
refurbed
an
it.
older part of the complex.
Yeah, so they could move in there. They may be in Shellcove before us. And with that little electric scooter we've got, that'll be perfect. Even if they don't want to walk, they can get over to our place, they can get to the shops, they can get anywhere quite easily.
I think it'd be very good for both of them, because my poor dad, when mum spends a day in bed, he's just sitting around, just twiddling his thumbs basically, playing games on his phone.
So we did, when we were fixing up this place, we spent a bit of time fixing up their place as well. Had to fix their pool gates and pool areas and their pergola thing, and we did a whole lot of work over there too. A whole lot of skirting boards and things, so all that's done. The painters have just finished there. So they will be... They're physically ready to sell and ready to start the process.
I just tell them they've got to move now. When Mummy brings it up, I go, you have to.
And David knows... But Linda just doesn't reckon she's ready.
Yeah.
She wants to stay there forever.
Yeah, Dad's reluctant. He just won't push her. He won't just say, no, we have to move. Or, I will.
And this house, we had a couple come through in one of our open houses here, and they really liked it. They said it does everything they want, and then they decided it's too big for a couple. And you think, well, that's exactly why we're moving. I think this is a good family home. We've had lots of parties here. We've had plenty of stuff here.
We've had other people living here.
It's been really nice.
A few other people live here at different times.
Yeah.
Yes,
worked. The Tara years.
Yes, okay. And is Christy staying in the Wollongong area, or is she moving elsewhere like Canberra?
She's got to do a uni. I'm going to answer this. No, you can answer it.
Do you know the answer?
I think so. She's got to finish uni.
She's finishing up her honours at the moment.
End
she
of
should
November.
be finished in November.
Yeah, which is going to be the... doesn't line up with normal uni time, but anyway, it is November.
Yeah.
And
that's about when we would hope our house is ready to...
But she doesn't have to do many things on site, so she could travel up for the final handing in of the stuff, but she could live anywhere basically as long as she's got internet access. So if we end up getting a place in Canberra, she could stay with us. If we go somewhere else,
that's an option. We might do that
because
she'll need to move to Canberra. She wants to work in Canberra for a year, have a year off uni basically, because she's just pretty... I think over uni at the moment. She might change her mind because already she started talking about doing masters next year, but she was going to have a break for a year and get a job and live down in Canberra and then either do a masters in Canberra or maybe come back to Wollongong. I think she doesn't really know quite what she's doing besides spending next year in Canberra. That's pretty solid, fairly solid.
But she's not coming to her new place.
No, she's not coming with us now.
This next question is a big question. Did the real estate agent tell you to recarpet the house and paint the house? Well, we had one real estate agent, the first one. She was very nice.
This was years before we put the house on the market.
2 years seeing her every year or so, 3 years probably, and then she knew we were selling. She was lovely, but she wanted us to change an awful lot, and we ended up did change an awful lot.
Yeah, she wanted the whole kitchen, the whole flooring, upstairs, downstairs done.
So anyway, so we've had about 6 estate agents come through with different advice. We get the advice, everything from just sell it like it is to fix things up. It's very hard to know if you spend $10 doing something, are you going to get $10 more? Yeah. And I don't think we are. I think all the money we've spent on carpets and paint, we're not going to get back. But hopefully it makes someone that visits the house decide to buy it. It won't affect the price. The price is going to be the same regardless. Yeah. But it may make it easier to sell. So that's what we're
yeah. I mean, otherwise they would have had to replace the carpets, even if they didn't want to repaint. Yeah, the carpets were threadbare.
Yeah. So it does look nice. The new paint marks very easily. Yeah. I don't like it as much as the old paint, but anyway, it's fine. Yeah. But even the cable room, the alarm panels, all that stuff, I've tidied all that stuff up. And it's probably been forever since it's been tidy. But that room's looking quite nice now.
I don't think I showed that in the tour.
Didn't you?
I don't think I showed Kevin's cable room.
How can you leave the cable room out? Anyway.
I'll try and remember to put a photo.
Yeah, real estate agents have told us all sorts of different things.
But the majority of them did say...
most of them said paint. Some of them said they want the wooden floor. Carpet. All through everywhere that we didn't have carpet. And we got quotes for that. We actually said to the following people to go ahead and do that. And then the next estate agent said, no, just do the carpet, nothing else. Yeah. So we did, because it's not going to get our money back. And this floor looks great.
No, most people really like our floor, actually.
We've had people come in since and say, this kitchen looks new. And it's 18 years old.
Yeah, Kevin did a bit of repair work on the kitchen, which you probably have seen already. Okay.
We matched the colour very well.
Yeah, and we're just saying she's never done that when she's sold a house before.
But hasn't sold yet. So
it's still early days.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emma also asked, not related to moving, but are we going on a river cruise in Europe? And no, we're not.
We can't
get an affordable flight in premium economy or business class to Europe. We're just not physically capable, I don't think, of going in economy that distance. Not with my fibro and Kevin's issues.
So while we were sniffing around flights, we found flights to Vancouver.
Yeah, but no, we don't need to go into this.
All right.
The answer is no. Em probably knows anyway. Anyone who does watch the regular vlogs, anyone else would know we are going to Alaska instead.
We've got points.
Okay. So Sasha asks, did the real estate person give us any advice on selling a home?
Yes.
Well, we kind of discussed that, I guess. Yeah, they all had their own opinions.
Yeah, everyone was different. So I don't know if any of it's valuable.
Someone wanted us to replace the fans. Only one person said the fans.
Yeah, the fans
so we decided
were awful.
not to bother. We kind of went with the majority, I think, on most things, didn't we?
Yeah.
What the majority said.
The carpet had to be done. The painting had to be done.
Yeah.
The rest of it
The kitchen, some said yes, some said no.
Up. But we spent $50,000 getting the house ready to sell, which is an insane amount of money. Yeah. But is what it is.
Yeah, but I did lots of research about what we should be doing as far as staging it goes and things like that. So I think we're pretty on top of that. Our Jason, our estate agent, seemed pretty happy with how the house turned up. The first time we saw it was in the middle of painting.
I would want to buy a house if it had nice groodles in it.
Okay, Missy Motivational says, how do you think you'll go with the dogs in an apartment? Do you worry that they won't have much space to roam around? Well, obviously they won't have
and
space.
The most important part, she said, was they're both adorable. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Other people love you too.
I think because, the plan I envision and hopefully we'll see through is I'll have lots of little walks, even just around I can take them down, just take them around the blocks of the apartment. They'll take 5 minutes, but they can have a sniff, go to the toilet, and I imagine it's doing that a number of times a day. Yeah. I'm hoping it'll keep me active and obviously exercise and toileting for them.
And we're going to get some grass.
Yeah, we're going to have a little grass pad thing that you have. It's fresh. We're going to start with real grass for them to toilet on the veranda, because obviously if I get up in the morning, if I'm having a pain day, I'm not going to want to go downstairs. Hopefully I can still do it. And there's supposed to be grass right outside our sort of door, the main entrance to the apartment. So
it'll be a nice part. Go down there, let them poo, pick up their poo, and come back inside.
Yeah, so they'll have lots of little walks, and I'm hoping most days or every day they'll get a big walk as well. I've got little walks over to the shop if Kevin's home and we just want to go pick up something, one of them to sell the dogs. So I think they'll get actually more exercise than they get now.
There's plenty of grass just on the other side of our apartment where the door is, our back door, which is where we're going to look over. There's the wetlands, so there's some big ponds.
Yeah, I'll try and put some photos in so you can see.
They're part of the stormwater system that goes down and feeds into the harbour. But there's lots of nice grass on either side, and
they're not off leash, but we can get a longer rope that they can go for a wander around and have some sniffing and stuff like that. So I think they'll get enough outdoor time, and then obviously if it's a rainy day or it's really cold and yucky, they've got the veranda as well. And they are overall pretty lazy dogs, so I think they'll be okay. We hope they'll be okay anyway. Have we stayed in an apartment? No, we haven't. They've only stayed in the house in Charleville. But we hope they'll adapt. I think they'll enjoy it. I think we're all going to enjoy it down there. Okay, next question is from S. Fletcher 100. Aside from the carpet and repainting, what else do we plan on doing to sell the house?
A lot of cleaning, a lot of tidying.
Yeah, a lot of just
pressure washing everything.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Which takes a long time. Just cleaning. Well, we're replacing that fence. You can't see that fence.
The side fence between us and
everyone turn to your right, you can see it. Okay, well, you can't. But there's a fence there which leaves it open between the houses. Doesn't worry us because there's not many windows on that side of the house to invade our privacy. But if it's people that don't know each other, they're going to want better privacy, and more importantly, they want the privacy from this property. So that fence is going up this week, I've been told. So I ordered it and paid for it some time ago. I shouldn't pay for things.
Don't pay for things before you...
I was trying to make my life simple by not having to deal with everything multiple times. Because there's a gate between us and next door, and we're going to have to block it off. So it'll have a lock, so either side can lock it.
And if they want to open, both have to open it.
Both have to agree.
Yeah.
And turn the keys at the same time, like a nuclear missile thing.
I assume that's not true.
No.
Okay, Ada says, are we buying new furniture for our unit?
No, because we've got no money left.
I'm kind of hoping we are.
We can do with what we've got for a little while, at least till we see how it goes.
We'll see. It might depend how much we sell. If we sell the place for what we would like, and don't have to drop our price, maybe we can buy more.
But the only thing,
the lounge. I feel that lounge is going to be too big.
I can just hack at it with a circular saw.
And we want to get one with a return. What do they call them? Like a chaise lounge sort of thing.
Which we used to have and we never used.
No, but we sit differently now. We like to sit and cuddle on the couch. So And that's why we have the footstool in the lounge room, which you also can't see. We have to bring it backwards and forwards at the moment.
Every time we have an open house, it can't be in there because it looks...
Well, it doesn't match that lounge. It matches the lounge in the family room, and it looks a bit funny.
Tidy. Anyway,
So, yeah.
no, we're not buying new furniture. We're going to have
we
to
will
buy...
be buying new furniture.
We'll have to buy some, but...
Well, we already have. We've already bought the bed that's in the guest room. We've already bought that.
I redid the mental maths the other day, and there's no money spare, even though someone just bought another timeshare.
Yeah, well, then I should really get a new couch.
Well, just because I'm stupid doesn't mean you've got to be stupid too.
We will be getting a new couch eventually.
At
I
some
know
point,
the couch
yes.
I want.
How long have you lived in your current house?
Jenny says.
Jenny
With some letters and
XH2ED.
numbers.
How hard is it knowing what to take with you, especially when it comes to sentimental items? Well,
The first part.
we don't have many sentimental items. The first part, 18 years.
At the end of October it would be.
Lib is not sentimental about anything
No.
ever. It's not so much sentimental, but I hate not having tools that I need.
Yeah, so it hasn't really been too hard. Kevin, I thought it was usually hard for Kevin to declutter. I've been at this for 10 years now, getting rid of more and more stuff, and it's become easier and easier for me. And now I'm just, I kept my diaries, they're still in the house, but I decided I'm just going to get rid of them too.
What are you going to do with all your bees? The bees have gone already. So the bees are gone, and they're with the other hives now. We set them up, and because it's a bit stressful moving, you can't move a beehive about 5 metres. They'll all die. They'll all go back to where they thought the hive was and die. So you have to either move them less than 2 metres or more than 2 kilometres. So I moved them probably 20 kilometres, which is fine. They should be happy, but the hive won't be super happy for a while until they learn all the new flower and water spots. But it'll take them probably a few months, and then once it gets warm enough, they're ready to be split again. So once they're comfortable and active again, they can be split in probably a couple of months, and you'll have 2 extra hives after that.
Emma again has commented about the automatic doors. They're no longer automatic. We have to get up
I know.
and open and close them. The dogs stand there and look at us going, aren't you going to open them for us from over there?
Yeah, all the electric
Oh, we
doors.
have to get up now.
All the electric doors are gone.
Yeah, Kevin disconnected them all.
Even the laundry fly screen, it's been off for 20 years. The security door, I put that back on.
Did you?
So everything's, it's just a normal house now.
And then Em just asked about, will we have solar at the new place?
Not initially, even though we should. There's plenty of roof space, and the strata, like the HOA, whatever they call it in America, but the strata will vote in its first meeting. So we currently can't have fly screens. So the first meeting we're going to vote to be able to have fly screens and vote on a standard colour that doesn't change the look of the building. And then we can all get fly screens, because I don't want to run the aircon all the time. The aircon is centrally controlled and managed. There's a few condensers on each building, but then there's a separate evaporator for each building, and they measure the coolant to see who's paying for what. So you pay for air conditioner use. If we had solar on the roof, all of that would go against the strata's electricity common costs, which would hopefully offset a lot of the air conditioning. So
We don't think the pool's heated, do we?
pool's not heated. So the first meeting we've got to bring up fly screens.
Oh, they're going to love us.
Solar on the roof, which is probably not going to be decided first meeting, because even though solar these days pays itself off in about 3 years, there's no reason not to get solar, but that's a bigger project. And heating for the pool. And you can actually get a system that'll tie into the condensers on the roof for the air conditioning and heat the pool through air conditioning waste heat. But anyway, we have to have meetings.
Yeah.
But what we are going to do is put fans in our units, which we don't have to get approval for.
Yeah, we like fans. We
Yeah, the
use
fans
a lot.
will be nice. So we're going to put nice DC fans in. I went to a website called OnlyFans, but they didn't sell fans.
Funny. Oh, you got to use your Joe.
Oh, that's exciting. All right, what's next?
Okay, it's a comment from... Can't read the letters. It's something Fletcher. Sorry.
Yes, Fletcher.
I think you're doing very well with your wrapping and packing. About Christy going, we've discussed that. I thought she was going to the new place with us. Well, she was.
She was.
But yeah, that's changed. She needs to move out, I think, for her and for us, particularly Kevin. Her and Kevin butt heads quite a bit. So, and obviously with the support worker coming to the new place wouldn't work. The place is a lot smaller. The family or lounge and kitchen are in one room. So it wouldn't work for a lot of reasons either. So definitely time for Christy to move out. And we always said all along we would like provide a house for the kids while they're at university. So I know she's going back to uni, but that's a bit different.
We're not going to let her sleep in the street,
No.
but she'll be fine.
I think it'll be really good for her.
This next one's a really good question.
This is from Pens and Pals.
Says making good progress with decluttering, but to sum it up, what we're going to have to do another round of decluttering once we get there, and that's right. I've had some megalodon teeth, a whole lot of fossils and things. I've given everything away.
Yeah, so Dan took all them. So I guess it's been a little bit easier for you, is that Dan has taken Dan. All right, well, I hope this answered your questions. If you do have any more, just pop them below and I can either reply to you, or if we get enough, we can do another Q&A. But should bring you up to date of where we are now.
It's probably long enough and you're bored. I'm sorry you're bored. I didn't ramble very much.
You doing off topic a bit. That's what happened last time.
That's what happens sometimes with me.
It does. All right.
You should try living in my brain.
No, thank you. Okay. Bye, everyone. I'm having trouble starting this video because I haven't done a sit-down video for a while and I think I've forgotten how.
I've got new teeth.
Oh my God.
You've got teeth. I can see your teeth when you smile.
Anyway, we're not here to discuss Kevin's teeth.
So we're also in the process of now changing phones to USB-C plugs. So that'll be interesting as well. We're going to need new cables for that. But it'll come with some cables.
Anyway, we're not talking about Kevin's
We're not talking about phones.
phone that he doesn't have.
Everyone else in the world got their phones on Friday.
We just said we're not talking about that.
I've got to wait another week.
You can talk about that in the normal vlog.
I slept through.
Not in this one.
Not in this one. I'm not talking about it.
And then
the painters took all the numbers off all the sockets, so I now need to spend a day relabeling every socket. So that's going to be fun.
Okay. And then so
should show people how the sockets work. No. Okay. All right. Next.
If you want Kevin to talk to you about the sockets, let me know and he can do a video just by himself on the sockets.
They're all category 6 RJ45s.
Okay, alright.
I said this already.
I know, you were ahead.
I wasn't ahead.
You were ahead. We're now up to discussing this in the house.
So it's a bit weird. I was just thinking of the 2 houses we've bought. Bought one in Berkeley.
All of you.
And I walked through there. She hadn't tidied up anything. And I ended up buying that place. And then one at Charleville I still haven't seen.
But you weren't buying them to live in.
No. But
I think that's very different.
I saw her out the front. So we sit next door when their house is open and we peek on people through the cameras. We only have cameras outside, so we can only peek on people walking up the driveway. We can watch people walking up the driveway and we can watch people if they go out to the pool area, because that's all we have cameras on.
Okay. So
in June, their estimate was 3rd quarter, so
we always worked to September. Close. We always said September being the last month in
July,
the 3rd quarter.
It was 4th quarter. And then the August update was February. So they're falling behind at twice the rate that time passes. It's as if they're doing negative work on the site.
So, anyway, we're still hoping the last 2 weekends you have. It
shouldn't be that hard because there's a lot of people that work more than me. But
you're not used to it.
I don't work down a coal mine. I type and I jiggle a mouse.
And you have chronic pain.
Yes.
So there is that
rubbing
to
my hands.
consider.
Suzanne says I shouldn't rub my hands.
Why?
Because it's annoying.
Oh, but it hurts your pain.
Yeah, I find myself doing it all the time. I
think it's okay if it helps your pain. Go for it.
And it's not. Normally you would use something like a MyFair Classic 1K card, but this one explicitly said it's not MyFair Classic compatible, so I won't be able to do it with the chip that I've put in here.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
I don't know which. It won't use an N tag, so I don't know what chip I'm going to be able to use. I might have to put another chip in my hand.
All right. Have you said the brief description? I sort of switched off when you started talking about stuff I didn't understand.
Okay. Yes. So we'll be able to charge the car.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure we'll discuss Christy's plans, but I'm pretty sure there's a question on that. So we'll wait till we get to the questions. So
right, questions.
We'll go on to our questions.
Do you have any more questions? These are fun, so you can just put them in.
I think that's kind of where we're up to.
I'm not one of those YouTubers that go, what does it say? Like and leave a comment below and blah, 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 blah. Thanks for watching.
I never ask for likes and comments.
Sometimes
I'll ask for comment if I've got a legitimate, I would like some information or some feedback. Then I'll request a comment, but it's only if I actually really want them to tell me something. What are you doing?
Just nothing.
This is my channel, not yours.
Okay. I still don't know why we're going to have a spare room. I saw a doormat.
What do you want to do with the room?
I don't know. Tools.
You're not having 2 rooms.
We saw a doormat. Instead of saying welcome, it just said, you have absolutely no reason to be here. And I wanted to buy that.
We're having a guest room because I think we will have more people stay over. Thea and Dan probably would have stayed with us for Christmas if we were going to be there. Or Christy would want to stay there at Christmas because she's going to be out of state as well.
They could probably both stay.
And obviously we'll maybe have people come and look after the dogs and stay there and look after the dogs in our house as well. So I think a guest room will actually get some use in that place.
We had our last house we sold, we had built-in pets, which was really nice. So that house was all computer controlled, but it was before you could get any commercial computer controlling. So it was a smart house back in the 90s, and I could type and tell things on there. There was no sort of phone apps and things, but anyway. But I wrote the whole house in C in a kernel module that actually had two 384-line digital I/O modules that used to come out of the computer and control all the lights. I can get into more detail.
Do you think my friends know what you're talking about?
No, but they can look up the relays I use, which are the G3 and A204Bs.
Let me know if any of you know what he's talking about.
Anyway, so it was all computer controlled. We couldn't sell the house like that. So
are you talking about the old house?
I know, the old house. So we ended up pulling all that out and putting new, just normal switches and everything else in. We lost the move button. We used to had a button in the house that just moved.
I'll just shake the table.
So we had a move button, and which buffered. Anyway, that's another thing.
And nothing to do with Christy.
Nothing to do with Christy, but we're still talking about the house here. But the last house, because it had its own pets, and by that I mean white ants through all the walls, we had to kill the white ants. So we got this new cool system in where they put really yummy sweet pine in the ground, and as soon as the baits are taken, they then fill it up with this stuff that kills the entire nest. And we spent a year waiting for them to take the baits and stop eating the house. And eventually they took the baits. And once they take at least 100 grams of the bait, they guarantee that nest is now dead. So it was only probably 3 or 4 months before we eventually sold it, which was an 18-month long process to sell that house, that the pets were finally dead. And we could clean them up and everything was nice again, replace the walls and do all that stuff. Anyway, so that made selling the house difficult. And we recarpeted, I think we repainted, and we weren't living there at the time, so the house was in great condition, and it was furnished just so it looked nice for people.
We were living there, and then I got over the open houses really quickly because the kids were only young. 2 dogs and the 2 kids, and before I had fibro, so I was obviously a lot more capable, and I still got over the open houses very quickly, and we decided we'd move in with my mum and dad.
Yeah.
But what was this tangent about?
The tangent is the real estate agents telling us to do stuff. So the last one, we learnt that last one we had to stage nicely to get it to sell. We had to get rid of the white ants. This house doesn't have anything wrong with it, which is much nicer to sell. I'm not trying to hide anything. So this house is a great house. All the sockets throughout the house go back to that room, and
okay, you're not off topic again.
So the golden rule of cleaning up. Does everyone want the golden rule of cleaning up and moving?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
You know what it is. Only do everything once.
Oh yeah, I'll try.
Don't pick up a box, move it somewhere else, then have to pick it up and move it again. Everything should have to go in the final home. And the fence is the same. We're trying to only talk to each problem once. So I found a guy, he quoted me, and I said, good, here's the money, so I don't have to think about it again. But no, I've had to send him a bunch of texts to actually say, can you come out and do the job, please?
Yes. So.
And the motorised leggy, with the motorised leggy bits, that's going to go somewhere.
I think Chrissy's going to take that one.
Yeah, so someone has to have it, because we're going to bore people to death on this video.
Well, you keep going off track. I'll be editing. I love editing these videos. With Kevin.
With 18
years at the end of October it would be.
So we got this house built. That's when we were 35. And
didn't have fibro.
And I was waiting for my Prius to come in. So I sold my previous car, and people would say, how's your life going? You go, great. I've moved back in with my in-laws at 35 and have to ask to borrow the car. So that's what my life was for a while.
Well, I had a car.
I don't know what happened, but I was asking to borrow the car.
I borrowed the car, taking the kids here, there and everywhere.
And I thought that was quite sad at 35. But anyway, 18 years we've been down here, sentimental about anything ever. I had some glasses that I liked that we got on our honeymoon. We just chucked them.
We did not. Actually, we tried to sell them online. No one wanted them.
We got some nice cows.
Then we tried to give them away.
We got some nice cows in Las Vegas. Libby chucked them. She didn't chuck them out. She just chucked them on the floor and broke their tails.
We've still got them. They're just tailless now.
Tailless cows.
You're being mean. You were so nice. I actually put that video in because Kevin was being so nice to me when I broke them.
Anyway, there's lots. Except I gave them tools that I thought I'm not going to need.
Oh, okay.
This is decluttering. I give tools and go, I'm not doing any of this sort of work again. I'm not going to be doing any framing work to Dan, and then I've had to go and buy tools again. So even 2 weekends ago, we packed up a whole lot of my tools that I didn't need, including a drain auger to clean drains out. And of course this week, Christy flooded the bathroom on the new carpet, and I had to go and buy a new drain auger, and I pulled out a clump of hair the size of a small iceberg.
Probably Christy and we both wash our hair in the bath. So.
Anyway, so the drains work. So yes, losing things.
I kept my diaries. They're still in the house. But I decided I'm just going to get rid of them too.
You won't let me read them, but whoever finds me the tip can read them.
I don't. No, we bought out their brain.
Anyway.
So yeah, I was thinking like, why am I keeping these? I don't want to read them again. Teenager me was just, crazy. As most teenagers are.
Luna McDonald said, we're doing a good job. Which is nice, because it's been difficult.
Yeah, Kevin particularly, I think, has done amazing.
Getting rid of tools and cables and things is very difficult.
That's not very good. Okay, Michelle.
Are we nervous about leaving the parents behind? They've got no...
We're not leaving them behind. We're trying to get them to come with us, but if they don't come with us, they need to move into a retirement facility.
They've got no capacity at the moment. If anything goes wrong, they're using...
Something will happen. One of them will fall over or get sick.
But they're using all the capacity they have. As soon as one of them is unable to do what they do, they're just going to fall apart. Yeah. They can't do it. So even when David had his stroke, we were doing all their medications and things. Yeah. They've taken all that back now. I'm not even sure it's right now.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, it's just...
Yeah.
They don't have any capacity.
But my dad lost a lot of his memory when he had his stroke, and he's now agreed Kevin can help him with paying his credit card bill because he keeps mucking it up. Yeah, he either pays it twice, he's done that a few times, or he hasn't paid it for a few months, which is the current situation.
Yeah.
So he said Kevin can help him with that now, so that's good.
That won't mean anyway. Huh? I've got all his passwords and things. So.
Yeah. So his memory's not good, and Mum's obviously just not great. So, they need to move, hopefully near us, so that we can be more hands-on and help them. Because if they move into Wollongong, it's going to be a lot harder. Particularly if I'm not doing good, and Kevin often have times where neither of us are doing good. How are we going to look after them if they live 15, 20 minutes away?
I've missed 3 days of work so far.
Yeah. But that's more than you've missed probably in your whole working life.
But I'm on new drugs now, and they seem to be alright.
Okay. What are we going to do with the bees?
I bought the bees from Sydney stingless bees, and they shipped them out of Queensland.
They're little tiny native bees.
They're little tiny native bees, and they don't sting. They're called stingless bees, but they bite. They're little...
Kevin,
they are.
I swear on my channel.
When they get cranky, and when their box fills up, they end up having a bee war, and you can see bees fighting and dying outside the hive, and it's like the sharks and the jets, but they don't have any music. And then you get the top half and the bottom half of the hive. They're designed like this, and you cut them in half, and you put the top half on an empty box and the bottom half with an empty box, and you end up having 2 hives. And they're not so fussy about their queens as European bees, and they just pick a bee and go, right, you're queen today, and they have a new queen. So they're happy. But then we had 2 hives, and they grow into filling the boxes that they have then, and they were happy. And then they started having bee wars between the hives. So I think both hives needed to be split again, but I didn't want to do that here. One night, when it's cold and they're all in bed asleep, you put little fly screens over all their entrances.
Yeah, we filmed it when we did it.
Oh.
Yeah, I filmed it a few weeks ago.
So you block them all up when it's cold and they're asleep. They're just temperature based. I don't think they care about night and day.
Yeah, it was still daylight, but it cooled down.
Yeah. So then I put them in the car. Next 7:30 the next morning or 7 o'clock, I dropped them off at John's place, and he's got 3 or 4 hives.
He's the guy who set them all up for us in the first place.
Well, he's the guy who split them.
Did you not set them up for us?
No, I just bought them.
Oh, okay. But that was from him. He told you about them.
Yeah, he's the one that told me about them. So anyway, he's got scruffy hair like this and a beard like this. And when we split the hives, there was probably 1,000 bees crawling everywhere through his fluff, and it was very scary. And they bite. Anyway, I didn't like them. I screamed like a girl.
You did, yeah. I think I filmed that too.
After criticising John's partner for screaming like a girl. Anyway, and all the automation that's in this house is all off-the-shelf, Clipsal, Schneider. It's called C-Bus. So it's all commercial stuff you can still buy, so I don't mind leaving it behind because you can get any electrician in to work on it. But it doesn't need work very much. Sorry. My eyes are better than yours now since I had that lens.
I wasn't sure there's another thing behind
I've got a fake lens and 4 chips in my hand on a cyborg.
Yeah, with your fancy teeth.
Yes, Fletcher.
Don't show your teeth. No, because it comes with a face.
Okay.
That's the one.
Anyway, I've got new teeth. They're very white. If you just saw my teeth, you'd think I was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that's right, because a lot of stuff, even going through tools, I've just put everything in a tub. I've been called a shubber. because stuff that I want to keep gets shoved in there, but there's
Yeah.
drill bits and hand tools and everything that needs to be sorted. And I want to be one of those old men that have like a little jar of screws. At the moment, I have 2 tubs of individually packaged fasteners of every type you could possibly want, and I probably won't need that. But then again, when we get a new house, I'm still thinking of knocking down the wall between the bathroom and the bedroom.
What? Oh, okay.
Or make a big hole with maybe some bifolds or something, so you can make that, or even glass where you can push a button and turn it opaque.
Some of or a couple of the more expensive apartments had that.
If you can even believe some apartments are more expensive. Did we talk about how much we paid for this?
No, I don't think.
Anyway,
no,
we paid a lot for this new apartment,
necessary.
and that's why we had 2 investment properties in Canberra, and we've had to sell them, and all that money comes into this, and we're still not going to have any money left over after we sell this for hopefully what we can sell it for. So this is an expensive apartment. The ones next to us were more expensive, and they've just got a new building called the Villa, and the ones in there are insanely expensive, and they're not selling them, and they can't find a builder. So I don't know what's happening there, but they're really nice. They're much nicer than ours. I don't think it's as good a position.
Yeah, well, I love the look of our place. It's low rise. I think it's the lowest of all, the lowest rise of all the apartment buildings that are going up.
It's brown. It's timbery.
It's three buildings. Nice. I just love the look of it. It appealed to me. Other ones not so much. So. And
the floor below us, each floor down was cheaper. There's 3 floors with exactly the same layout as ours. We're on the top floor, and the one below us just sold for more than we paid. It's not even built yet.
Yes, they did well.
So yeah, they
hopefully
did. Well, they didn't do well. They're getting divorced, so that's sad.
Oh, I know, but financially, from the buying the apartment.
So so the new building with the double price apartments, I think, is just setting an even more expensive expectation. So when we sell this,
hopefully
we're going to be able to go on a holiday. And when we're 80, we're going to jump off the rail of a cruise ship together.
Okay.